Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this crochet hat. It's my first pattern and I'm really proud of it. While you don't need the paid pattern to be able to make the hat, it might make it a tad easier to follow along with the pattern, and it will support my work. So if that's something you're interested in doing, I will leave the link to the Ravelry and Love pattern sites in the description below. Without any further ado, let's get started. The first thing you'll need to do is get your supplies. You'll need some worsted weight yarn in a color of your choice. For this video, I'm using green. I like to have a yarn bowl in hand. This isn't entirely necessary, but it does make the process a lot easier. Next, you will need a 5mm crochet hook. That is an H hook in US terminology, but I always use the metric system because it makes it easier for me to remember. You will also need some scissors to cut the yarn, a tape measure to measure the width of the hat binding and make sure that the finished project will fit properly, and a tapestry needle to weave in any ends at the end of this project. The first thing you will need to do is to make the binding of the hat, as this pattern is worked from the bottom up. As you can see with the thick brim that I make for this hat, it does take a bit of time, but how much it adds to the final overall look of the hat is well worth it. To make the brim, all you need to do is chain 9 single crochet in each stitch, and then chain 1 and single crochet in the back loop only. You'll repeat this step until the binding reaches 20 inches in length, and then you can move on to the next step in making your lovely hat. And it has come out to 20 inches long, this way. You are going to want to connect it so that we get a round brim to start the hat on. And to do this, you just line it up and push through both sets of loops on the edge of the ribbing and do a slip stitch like so. And you do that 8 times across the edge of the ribbing. And you get it connected like so. That'll be less noticeable once you finish it, the seam. And from there, you're going to want to chain 1 and single crochet 64 times into the top edge of the ribbing. If you like, you can put a stitch counter on each end of the ribbing when it's folded like this and do 32 so that you can make sure you're doing it evenly. But yeah, just single crochet 64 times as evenly as you can into the top edge of this ribbing. Once you've done that, you can slip stitch to the beginning stitch of the row and you can start your next row. And you'll do that at the end of each row if I forget to mention it. So just make sure you're chaining 1 at the end of each row that you do, unless mentioned otherwise. So after you finish the main part of the hat, you're going to want to go into the decrease rows. So for the first row, you decrease every 15 stitches, and that'll end up being 60 stitches around the hat. And this is the important part. When you finish the row, instead of slip stitching into this next stitch, you're going to stitch on top of it so that there's no actual seam. And from that point, you won't have a seam from this point up, and then you just want to continue on with the decrease rows. So after you finish your decrease rows, you are going to cut your yarn and fasten it off. Weave it in with a tapestry needle, closing up this hole, and your hat will be finished. Hope you enjoyed the video. And here's what the hat looks like when it's finished. I think it looks really cute. I'm happy with how it turned out. Matches my hair a little bit. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and enjoyed following this tutorial to get a nice little hat. Peace.